मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को ऑल पे सेट करें।
Hello everyone, welcome to Sahoo Textile Academy. Today we are with Dr. Nanda Mahapatra. Sir, first of all, welcome to Sahoo Textile Academy.
Thank you.
Sir is currently serving as the head of business department of Pushkar Chemicals and Fertilizers Limited. So, sir, tell us something about your experience at textile chemistry and how you reached here.
Actually, uh, I started my, I completed my studies, intermediate science, then BSc chemistry honors, then MSc chemistry from Ravenshaw College, Cuttack, Odisha, one of the leading colleges,
Yes.
Ravenshaw College. So after completing my MSc in chemistry, so that time, I thought that chemistry, I should divert to another field. So that time I decided that though my father was a professor of chemistry in Nanda College, Cuttack, Professor Dr. Nanda Mahaptra, but that time I chose that I should go into a different line. So in that case, I joined University Department of Chemical Technology in 1981 in the area of textile chemistry. So that was a 3 years course. Those days it was 3 years course after BSc. But now, of course, the name has changed. It has become ICT now, and the course has also become 4 years course. So after from 1981 to 84, I studied textile chemistry in University Department of Chemical Technology, that is called UDCT, in Matunga, Bombay.
Okay. So, sir, you have also worked abroad in different countries. So, can you tell us what is the difference between the work culture followed here and in other countries?
Yes, so this is a good, interesting question. See, as far as mainly, if you see the textile industry, mainly the textile industry is spinning, weaving, and processing. Spinning, weaving, the Indian textile industry is above normal, and whatever suppose you take the spinning speed in the spinning machines or in the loom speed, what Indian industries have achieved, that is tremendous. Means I think it is the highest as compared to the other, even the developed in the developed countries also. If you compare the spinning and weaving, we are at the top. But processing, that is chemical processing, we still lag behind there, because in this textile processing, we are little, we having little, we work in such a manner that suppose there is a shade matching is there, right? Suppose the shade matching is there, so suppose the shade is not matching one to one, then what we say, chalta hai, means that chalta hai attitude, that is why it has become, our chemical processing has become on the back foot, and we have not developed ourselves much in this area. But if you compare with spinning and weaving, they are far ahead than us. So I think that type of that chalta hai, that mindset has to be changed in chemical processing.
Yes,
and we have to give more focus on the parameters which we have to strictly adhere to those parameters of the machines, of the material, of the dyeing process. All this we have to become very which in which when I was working for foreign countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and Australia also, there they were following those parameters, the process controls in chemical processing. They were very strict on those processing control. And another thing which difference I found is that safety. Safety is a very big role there as compared to our chemical processing industries in India. So in those, I was working in a company in Australia known as Melba Industries. So there I was working in the dye house. So there I found that normally in every dye house you'll find stenters. Stenters, they are used for heat setting or for drying, whatever they can use for that stenters. So in those stenters there was some leakage of gas somewhere, in that central machine. So I saw that all on a sudden somebody noticed that one leakage of gas is there. So all the workers, even the machine operators, they all ran away out of the department, and they ran away, and this to the open field in front of that dye house or process house. So I was surprised. What happened? Then I found that there was one leakage of a very small leakage somewhere, a steam or something like that leakage was there. So that is why they were very much cautious and they were very much safety conscious. So they ran away. Then the maintenance department team came, engineering department came, they rectified that leakage. Then after that, they found that it is okay. Then it was proved. Then the workers again came back to the work to do the job. Then another thing was them is so much safety conscious, where which we lack here. If you go to our any process house, you will find lot of leakages of steam, lot of leakages of gas. So we don't give that due importance to all those small leakages and all. But in foreign countries, they are very much conscious. Then another thing was that normally there is a very common chemical in the textile processing industry known as sodium hydrosulfide. So in short form, we call it as hydro. So and it's a very explosive also. If it comes contact with water, it may make some explosion also. So in India, normally sodium hydrosulfide, how the operator uses, he goes to the chemical room, get it in the bucket, and just put it in the machine. And during the process, suppose reduction cleaning or something wherever hydro is required, he uses it. But there I found in Australia that sodium hydrosulfide they had kept um, what you call in a
Vacuum.
in a no, it was kept in a what you call a cupboard, a steel cupboard with a lock and key. So whenever hydrosulfide is required by the operator, the in charge of that chemical room will open that cupboard and take out that sodium hydrosulfide drum. He'll wear a mask, everything he'll weigh, and then he'll weigh it and give it to the operator. And operator also, they are very much conscious. They will wear face mask and their gloves and boots, everything. Then they'll bring the sodium hydrosulfide and they will put it in the dyeing machine wherever it is required. So this is the safety level which we lack still in India. So that I think it has to be developed, and that culture has to be developed, that we should be very safety while handling this different type of chemicals in the process. So that's the difference basically.
So, sir, my next question is, can you explain the benefits of mercerization of yarn and fabrics in a simple way?
See, mercerization of yarn mercerization or fabric mercerization, normally it is treated, the fabric is treated, cotton fabric is treated with caustic soda at a particular dosage, and they give under tension, they treat the fabric. So what happens, the cotton fabric, it becomes, after the treatment with the caustic soda for a very short time, with a particular tension. So that time the cotton fabric or the yarn becomes, the luster of that cotton yarn improves. Then number two is the dye pickup also improves, and a lot of other properties have also improved after mercerization. That is why people prefer mercerized cloth for dyeing, to get a better luster, shining, and a better dye pickup also. That as compared to the unmercerized cotton. And another thing I want to give stress on this is that in we also have yarn dyed shirtings. In yarn dyed shirtings also, what they do, they dye the yarn, right? Then they make a fabric, shirting fabric, along with gray yarn. And that gray yarn, that design fabric, which is made out of this dyed yarn and gray yarn, it goes to mercerization. So in that case, the dyes which is used for the yarn dyeing should be fast to post mercerization, because after dyeing we are doing the mercerization, the fabric which is made using the dyed yarn and the gray yarn. So that is called as PMA fastness. So for that we have a particular range of dyes which is used for this dyeing of this yarn, which goes in making shirting along with gray yarn. So that is why we call fast to post mercerization.
Okay, sir. So, sir, what is the recommended bleaching agent for palm leaves?
So, uh, palm leaves normally normally in the industry, we have normally pineapple fibers are used in a good quantity, and I know there is some pineapple maximum is grown normally. If you go to south, they normally do the pineapple harvesting, and basically it's a leaf fiber, and of course the cellulose percentage is more. So I think for bleaching of this palm fibers or pineapple fibers, the hydrogen peroxide is the best bleaching. It will give good results, and good whiteness also it will give, and it's better. You get the appearance better, good appearance you will get. So, pineapple fiber is normally used in all the textile industries nowadays, and it is comes from the south only, Coimbatore only, basically. So, there is one Coimbatore manufacturer who manufactures this pineapple fiber. It takes the leaves, dry the leaves, and then those leaves are put into a fiber extraction machine. It is just like a small cutting machine type of. Then after that, it puts the dry leaves, and there are a lot of spikes are there, and the rotation is there. And in that case, they get the loose fiber, pineapple fiber. And that pineapple fiber, loose fiber, it goes into the spinning, make the yarn. This is the way how pineapple fibers are here. So bleaching can be done using hydrogen peroxide is the best bleaching agent for all these vegetable fibers. Uh, even this natural fibers. Hydrogen peroxide is the best bleaching agent.
Sir, what is the benefit a mill owner can get if he visits to ITMA? And sir, I think you have also visited ITMA once.
Yes.
So, how was your experience there?
See, ITMA, I am normally, my first ITMA was in 2007. That time I was working as a general manager processing in Chenab Textile Mill, Kathua, Jammu Kashmir. That is a unit of KK Birla Group. So I was heading the biggest dye house in those days, from 2004 to 2009. I was heading the dye house, biggest dye house in India. We were dyeing about 70 tons polyester fiber, acrylic fiber, cotton fiber, viscose fiber a day. That was the biggest dye house in India in those days. So in that case, normally people from all in CTM Chenab Textile Mill they do, they make two teams. They make one two team from quality control, from spinning department, then from then from dye house. So like this, they make two teams, and one team goes to ITMA, International Textile Machinery Exhibition. So my first ITMA exhibition was in 2007. That was in Munich, Germany. Then in 2011, I went to Barcelona, Spain. Then every 4 years it happens. See,
Okay.
4 years is a good time where all the machine manufacturers they can exhibit what they have done development in their machines, what spinning machines they have developed, compact spinning or whatever new developments have come within the 4 years. What they have done that they display. Machines are displayed as it is. The looms are displayed as it is. The garment printing machines are also displayed on the in ITMA exhibition. And I think 2004, I think they started including dyes chemicals also. But previously it was only machineries, spinning, weaving, and garmenting machinery. Now, I think by 2002 or three, they had included dyes chemicals also, different hall number, and dyes chemical are also what in 4 years what new dyes they have developed, what new auxiliaries or chemicals have been developed. So they all display there. So ITMA is such a platform, it is you will get there worldwide users, worldwide buyers will come from all over the country, from South America, from North America, from Australia, from Egypt, all those major textile zones. They attend all these exhibitions very seriously, and they want to find out that what new developments have been taken place, either in machines or in dyes chemicals or in garmenting also. So this is why that is why ITMA show it becomes a hit, and everybody, all technicians, they are very much interested to visit ITMA. Even the owners, factory owners also, they also go and see. And I've seen somewhere also the machine is finalized there in ITMA only. They see the machine, they working machine working. They see there, and immediately they sign the agreement. Okay, we'll buy this. So a lot of activities takes place in this ITMA. So I think this is a very nice platform. And I think the
Yes.
next ITMA, this ITMA was in 23. I think the next ITMA is in 2027. That will be in Hamburg, Germany. So I think then the next 4 years, I think a lot of developments will there. So we can go and find out what new developments have taken place. That is why ITMA is very much essential.
Sir, despite of current slowdown in textile industry, can we expect better times in future?
See, I think textile industry is the only industry which has seen ups and downs. I know I'm in this industry last 38 years. So a lot of time the textile industry has faced this problem. Sometimes there will be demand, sometimes there will be yarn shortage, sometimes there will be pollution problems. All those issues, textile industry is well acquainted with those problems, and that is why such type of slowdown and this thing continues. But after all, at the end of the day, the industry again bounce back. Every time it bounce back. Because now presently the industry have been is running at 50-60% capacity all over the in Indian textile industry, also in the global also. So one of the main reason is that there is a Russian-Ukraine war, which is I think more than 1 year. Still they are fighting with each other. So that is why that is why the European market is getting affected, because as this European, they support the Ukraine country, and Russia, it has cut up all its gas line and fuel line to Europe. So that is why the Europe people, they are facing a lot of problems. So whatever their salary and all they are getting is being used in paying the fuel bills, the electricity bill in the house. So that is why there is no fund for them to buy the clothing. So in that case, all the brands and retailers from European brands and retailers, so they have so they are no more placing orders, new orders. So that is why the European market, it is affected by the textile industry, and for that European industry, all they have to find out the other alternative markets like South America markets or Latin America or Central America markets. They have to search. Then only the textile industry will come up with full capacity. But thing is that in those countries, they have their own local players, like Brazil is there, then your Honduras is there, Mexico is there. So we have to fight. Suppose a Bangladesh manufacturer or a Pakistani manufacturer or an Indian manufacturer. If the Europe market is closed for them, so they have to search the other markets. So other markets they have to face with the local players there. So like this, I think this 2023 will remain like this, and 2024 February March, I think the textile industry will bounce back. It will come back to its original. I think so.
Sir, are there any budget-friendly new developments in textile dyes and chemicals which can offer the same type of results?
See, nowadays the main focus on this textile auxiliaries or chemicals, which you call, that is, all these chemicals, textile auxiliaries are based on green chemistry. So more research is being done, and some products they have also come out with the basis of the green chemistry. So the auxiliaries which is not at all harmful, which is eco-friendly, and which doesn't affect the people wearing those clothing made out of using the chemicals and all. Similarly, in dyes also. So normally, as I tell in cotton, reactive dyes normally the exhaustion is very less. It's about 75 to 80%. And the rest dyes, it goes into the it goes into the effluent. So in that case, lot of dyes have come into the market, which is having more fixation. Means the exertion and the fixation is more in those dyes. It goes about 85 to 90%. So that will be very helpful to the industry. And I think those this type of dyes is the future of this industry. So I think more research can be done on this, and more work, more trials should be taken on this type of dyes, having more high exertion, high fixation. So these dyes are very much helpful to the industry. In that case, also there will be less load on the effluent, and it will be give a lot of benefits to the textile process also.
And sir, what can be added to avoid washing off of colors? Means fading of colors while washing the cloth.
See, suppose normally washing problem in polyester doesn't happen. So the exertion is very high in polyester disperse dyes. So the main problem comes into the cotton, because exertion is less and fixation also very less. So in some cases, after the dyeing is complete, they give a very good soaping. Then they use the fixation agents, dye fixing agents they use. But in some cases, this to save the cost, processing cost. People they don't they don't give sufficient soaping. They don't give sufficient fixation time, good fixation dye fixing agents. They don't use just to cut the cost. So in that case, the fabric which will be dyed without good soaping and without good dye fixing agent, so if the color will bleed, and then the color will also fade also very fast. That is one of the reasons. So that has to be taken care of.
So sir, in case of shade variation, what types of dyes could be used to address the issue, to deal with it?
See, normally shade variation, if you consider shade variation, normally we consider from the lab. That is, whatever the dyes have been used in the lab, whatever combinations, whatever dyes auxiliaries are being used in lab, all those should be replicated in the bulk when you take in the dyeing machines. So lab machines, whatever parameters are there, suppose in metal liquor ratio is there, what type of caustic soda, what type of salt is used. So that has to be replicated in the bulk in the dyeing machine when you dye big lots. So in that case, that is why we call it as a lab to bulk reproducibility. That a lab to bulk reproducibility should be best to avoid any shade variation. Because once if you have the shade variation, then you go on giving addition. Lot of time is waste, and then your shade variation also becomes very difficult to match the shade. So that is why we call it as the RFT percentage, right first time dyeing percentage, RFT percentage. So any dye house which is having a RFT percentage of more than 85% is considered as to be the best, one of the best dye house or the process house. Because in that case, they have taken the very care in lab to bulk reproducibility. They have maintained all the parameters same in the lab and in the machine. That is why shade variation you won't get.
Okay, sir. So my next question is, what is color fastness?
See, color fastness, there are different type of color fastness, like washing fastness is there. Then in polyester also sublimation fastness is there. Then you have different type of rubbing fastness. Then we have perspiration fastness. So different type of fastness are there for the end uses of the textile fabric. So that is why we call it as color fastness to washing, color fastness to perspiration, color fastness to sublimation, color fastness to rubbing. In rubbing also there are two types of rubbing: dry rubbing, wet rubbing. So these are all different type of color fastness. And nowadays also new color fastness have also started coming out. Fast to benzoyl peroxide. Fast to benzoyl peroxide case, it has become very critical, especially in the towel industry. When you dye any towel, you have to dye a certain you should use certain reactive dyes which is fast to benzoyl peroxide. Why benzoyl peroxide? Because all this, the normally the ladies, but they use the body lotions, the facial creams, it all contains sodium peroxide. That benzoyl peroxide it contains, and benzoyl peroxide is a mild oxidizing agent. So that is why our dyes, which we manufacture, is specifically made to sustain this fast to benzoyl peroxide. It's a different type of chemistry which we manufacture, the reactive dyes. We call it as CPD dyes, red CPD, blue CPD, yellow CPD, and those dyes have been used to pass to benzoyl peroxide. So in that case, what happens, after the bath, when these ladies, they will use the dyed towel. So dyed towel should not affect by this little benzoyl peroxide which is left on the skin. So it should not affect the towels, the dyed towels. So that is why the fast to benzoyl peroxide. So these are the latest color fastness parameters being used in the industry.
Sir, I have also noticed that you have a passion toward writing, and you have also published a book recently, and you have also translated, I think, translated Odia literature, right?
Yes,
So tell
actually,
us something about your books.
yeah. So actually, this writing of books, it has been in my genes. So I have inherited this from my father, who has written about 100 books of science fiction, Odia science fictions in Odia language. Then he has written chemistry books. Then he has written science encyclopedias. Then he has written a lot of 100 books. He has written, so I cannot reach that level. But now, presently, my 12 books have been completed now in textile. What I have done is that whatever I got my practical experience in the textile industry, I have put my practical experience into the my textile books. So that is why it is very much helpful. So suppose anybody passing out from the textile college, and he suppose he is going into the textile factory, so that this type of books will be very helpful for them. Because till now I know a lot of old books have been followed in textile colleges, where the technology is now very outdated. So there is nothing mentioned about the latest technology in the dyeing machineries or the spinning machinery, weaving machinery. So all those has been not been included in the textile book. So that I have included in the textile book, and that has become very helpful to the textile college students to get the knowledge updated. So before entering into the industry, they will know everything they will read in the books. Then only they will be very easy to pick them up, how it is the machine is working, what are the drawbacks, what are the advantages, disadvantages, everything has been mentioned. So my 12th book is is already completed. It is published. It is all my books are available in Amazon and Flipkart.com. My 13th book is now under process. That is on textile functional finishing. So that is a new book. In that case, what I have done is that you mention any functional finish, like suppose antimicrobial or anti-odor finish or anti-perfume finish. All those has been included in my 13th book. That will be textile functional finishing. And the translation part, in the early 70s, my father had written one science fiction in those days known as Chandra Mrityu. That book was very famous in those days, 70s. People still remember the name of the characters which my father had used. So that book it has been translated to English. So I wanted that why people of Odisha only will read science fiction in Odia language. Let the rest part of the country or the global people it should reach. So that is why that book has been translated from Chandra Mrityu. It has been made Death of the Moon. So that book is also available on Amazon and Flipkart.com. So let's see. That will be one of the first books in English science fiction in India, and I hope it will be appreciated and accepted by the uh, global audience, uh, especially uh, especially in India also, and I think some Hindi film producers are also very much interested to start a film on that, Death of the Moon. They're also planning to that picture, a movie, a science fiction movie in Hindi with English subtitles also, based on this book, Death of the Moon. The discussion is going on. Let's see what happens.
Let's hope for the best.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Even I
true.
am wishing to see that movie. So I just hope that the book becomes bestseller on every platform.
Yeah, let's hope.
Right. So, so my final question is, sir, suppose if someone wish to learn about textile chemistry from scratch, from the beginning. So, sir, how you will guide that person?
See, textile chemistry, my basically my first book, which I wrote in 2013, that was on textile dyes and textile dye. In that case, what I have done is that I have I've written in a very simple language: the dyeing of cotton, dyeing of viscose, dyeing of wool, dyeing of silk, dyeing of nylon, dyeing of polyester, all different chapters. And all these chapters, then side by side, I have written the different chapters are which dyes are used for wool, which dyes are used for silk, which dyes are used for cotton, which dyes are used for polyester. So, like this, my first book is very much practical and very much accepted in the market. So that I think that book everybody should go through it, and that will give you a basic knowledge of textile chemistry. And besides that, also my next subsequent books also. So I request textile chemistry scope is a lot of scope is there in textile chemistry, because nowadays the new technologies have already started to come, like digital printing of textile fabrics. So in that case, like we print in the printer, like we print the designs or the paper in printer, like that you will print the fabric or the garment with digital inks. So that digital inks is a very new area, and I think it is having a very bright future. Then another new technology is also coming up in textile chemistry is dyeing of waterless dyeing of polyester, that is instead of water, because nowadays water has become very precious, and we don't know how much in the future water will be available for dyeing. So in that case, the new technology has already come. It is known as DIFU technology, that is using of supercritical carbon dioxide medium instead of water medium. So that is why we call polyester waterless polyester dye. That is also new technologies coming in textile chemistry. That also people are slowly. And another third technology is coming up in textile chemistry is salt-free reactive dye. Because in reactive dyeing, lot of salt is used. It goes till 80 gram per liter or 70 gram or even 90 gram per liter. So all those salts, after the dyeing, what happens? It goes into the effluent. The effluent, the load increases. So for the effluent, the treatment, the cost goes high. So in that case, new technology have already arrived, that is known as salt-free reactive dyeing. Means reactive dyeing without salt. So that is one. All those
That's
textile
great.
chemistries having good scope, and I think students should enter this textile chemistry, this new technology field. And I think there is good scope for textile chemistry.
Okay. तो दिस वाज इट फॉर टुडेज वीडियो। आई होप आपको आज का वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो। और सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग योर प्रीशियस टाइम। एंड सर, आई होप वी मीट someday personally, and I would like to continue this conversation after
Yeah.
that. So till then, have a nice day. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you very much.